Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 3 Premium Imperial Russian Navy cruiser, Oleg. He has 24,100 health, a top speed of 24 knots, 12 152mm guns, 12 secondary guns, a surface detect of 8.8 kilometers, and absolutely no anti-aircraft guns. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, reduce the chance of flooded fire. For my commander, priority target, adrenaline rush, superintendent, demolition expert, inertia fuse, high explosive, and concealment. We're on the map Solomon Islands, and this is a premium ship that will be released shortly on North America. I think it's already released on the Russian and maybe European, maybe Asian. I'm not 100% on that. Either way, it's a Tier 3 premium Soviet, well, not Soviet, but Russian cruiser. Let's just say Russian cruiser. How does it play, Notser? Well, it plays pretty well when you have an 18 skill commander in it. Not every single person's going to be able to benefit like this. However, it is premium, so you can freely move them in, and you will notice why it's pretty good. Inertia fuse, high explosive, with the shell, is capable of citadeling cruisers that are broadside to you. This British cruiser, we were able to broadside Citadel, and I switched to AP because naturally, that's what you load when it's a broadside target, but I was noticing I was overpinning or not really doing as much damage. HE was able to Citadel, so we're just going to fire HE. When in doubt, fire the HE. And the gun caliber is honestly pretty... Oh, well, we got another Citadel. The gun caliber is honestly surprisingly large. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most cruisers at this tier do not have 152mm guns. They usually go for a slightly smaller caliber. So it works pretty well in your favor with the inertia fuse. And this is my commander from my Chapayev, who also doubles as my Mikhail Kutuzov commander. That's a really, really strong commander, right? Yeah. Might as well play it on this, right? It's a premium. You can put anything you want in it. So the strengths are obvious, I think, to me. The larger than average caliber gun at this tier, able to do more damage per shot. Inertia fuse works very well with it. The weaknesses are the gun range, 10.8 kilometer, and I can't increase that at all. It can't go a single meter further. The concealment is poor, 8.8 with benefit of the concealment skill for my commander, so it's probably 1-to-1, I would guess. You're never going to have a low skill commander, though, in a premium. That's the one thing that... It's never going to be that way. At least it shouldn't. So you should be able to benefit from your highest skill commander if you're interested in this. For me personally, I get more joy out of a little bit higher tier game, but it's fun to play once in a while, and we're doing pretty good damage while we're trying to predict that the enemy torpedo bomber is incoming. And it's always nice to confirm that your friend is going to be out of the way. But yes, the lack of anti-aircraft defense is a problem. You are a cruiser that does not stop the menace that is aircraft carrier play. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's pretty rampant right now at low tier because it's new commanders trying to check them out. It gives you a little bit more benefit. A lot of these ships don't have AA protection, and the ones that do, it's basically a guy with a pistol. So good luck shooting that down. It all culminates into a lot of scenarios where you will deal with aircraft and you have no way to deal with it other than to maneuver. And a more skilled aircraft captain will be able to catch you. And in fact, I think my time will be up if he keeps this up. I just can't keep it up all game long. So my team has captured no enemy on that flank whatsoever. They've actually killed one of the enemy aircraft carriers. There's only one left. I'm just trying to stall them over here. I'm really be as honest as I can. I'm just trying to stall them as best as I can. Maybe I could engage a target over at B point. It is a typical cruiser in the sense that the low tier cruisers have portside and starboard guns, so it's not a big deal if something tries to ambush me on the other side of my ship when I'm engaged with a St. Louis on the starboard side. And the damage we're doing is pretty good. Honestly, I don't know if it's a combination of inertia fuse, high explosive, and the guns, but it just feels like every salvo is doing a ton. And here comes some more aircraft. Gee, I wonder where they want to go. Do they want to go for me, or do they want to go for a battleship? I think they want to come for me. And I'm going to try and angle away, not run into the island. We don't want to pull a Notser right now. We've got to keep our team in the game. Right now, we're in the game. We don't have to rush to take another base. But if I die, this flank is probably going to fall. Let's be realistic. I'm probably the highest skilled player in the game. It's a low-tier game. People are just learning the game or learning a new class. And I noticed that there's an enemy Wix. Enemy Wix is in the center, and he is coming out to play. Now remember, the American destroyer has torpedoes on both sides, low tier. So he will have probably sent torpedoes. I'm going to try and kill him as quickly as I can and angle away. And the damage output is so high. A full salvo on a destroyer with inertia fuse, high explosive, and yep, here they come, is something like 4,000 or 5,000. That is just absurd. But I'm not going to complain if I'm using it to me. Don't you think I'm ridiculous? And instead of continuing to fire on the St. Louis, I'm going to engage the Bogatair, the hero of Stalin, or what is it? It's sort of like a Superman, a Russian superhero or something, something like that. It's a heroic Russian soldier or something along those lines for the Bogatair, and he dies to a combination of multiple friendlies, and we're going to transition back to the St. Louis, just barely in range. He's trying to engage the friendly battleship, and I'm going to move closer. The enemy Kaiser not targeting me at all. No priority target whatsoever on my screen. And, whoa, that was an overshot if I've ever seen one, Notser. Yes, it was. Now, as I'm engaging these targets, I'm trying to move back into range of the St. Louis. I will fire on the Kaiser, of course, while doing that, but the St. Louis is the primary target. I want to apologize for not being available on Friday for my stream. I just didn't feel like I could sit 6 hours and perform my duties as a streamer. I was really uncomfortable, and that's all I'm really going to say. I feel much better. This is much later in the day for recording this, and it's not obviously 6 hours. I sit in my chair, I talk about the game for 45 minutes, and then there's another hour or so rendering / uploading. It's not a big deal. I just wanted to tell you I'm really sorry, and hopefully it won't happen again. So we're now in range of the St. Louis. He has to deal with the edge, and he can't run away. And we're going to try and finish him off and get credit for the kill. I think this will be good. 2 targets are targeting miss, but we do take out the St. Louis. 61,000 damage. Not bad. Not bad. What do I think of the camo? The camo is all black. All black's pretty cool, but it's nothing spectacular. I think there's a, oh man, is it Nicholas II? Who was the Tsar? Either way, there's a family crest on the front, I believe, of the ship. It looks like every other low tier, and oh man, we have more anti-air. I can't do anything, and it looks like he's actually going to try a crossover on me, and it's just not going to work out. When I juke to avoid the left side, it's going to make me wide open for the right, and I chose to repair my engines so I could try and maneuver, and honestly, if I wouldn't have repaired the engine, I would have been completely fine, because I wasn't going full speed. So, yeah, we're not dead, and he didn't cause a flood. If he would have caused a flood, we would have been dead. You can only dodge so many aircraft before they're going to hit. That's the thing. If a player is playing an aircraft carrier, they're just going to get better and better and better the more times they try and drop on you, and there's nothing you can do about it without any air. Nothing. Nothing at all. Now we set the fire on the Wyoming. He puts it out. He's a one-fire kind of guy. And I'm looking to set another fire. Of course, in response to his shot, I angled. I could be punished for that. He could penetrate length of the ship, and it would stick in the ship and do 33%, instead of most of the time doing 10% overpin. And this fire is going to stick. Someone hits a big citadel. And that was pretty quick, honestly. That was very quick. And look where the aircraft are coming from. It would seem that the enemy aircraft carrier is somewhere in C Point. Ooh, we earned Confederate from the fire. Okay. Trying to kill him as safe as I possibly can. Oh, okay, here comes a shot. Angle away as quickly as I can, and yeah. The ship is maneuverable. It is very, very responsive to your command. A good player who can maneuver is going to be successful in it. A player that is not comfortable maneuvering the ship will probably have difficulty succeeding in it. And oh, don't sit it out! That could not have been any closer. It hits the water just before my ship splashes on the deck. Everyone's going, ah, that was close. I wonder what a sailor would do if they saw a shell coming in like that. I would just crap my pants, man. I can't even imagine. Enemy aircraft are incoming, and he could come to finish me off. Or he could go after someone completely irrelevant, and you can't kill him. Either way, it looks like he's not going to come this way. So, the Oleg, what do I think of it? Well, it's a premium tier 3. It's a Soviet cruiser. There are plenty of Soviet cruisers that are premium and are very good. My rule of thumb has always been, you pick the highest tier that you can comfortably win in premium, so you can maximize your income per game. If you just are not experienced enough, or you can't get enough impact on a tier 8 game, or a tier 7 game, or a tier 9 game for the Missouri, then it's not going to be in your best interest. You want to be successful. The Molotov, the Murmansk, the Mikhail Kutuzov, those are really good. Well, not the Murmansk as much, but the Molotov and the Mikhail are very good at their dedicated tiers. And this is just maybe a collector ship. It's a fun tier 3, I think. The 152s combined with the inertia fuse high explosive really work well. I mean, it really works well. Because all my citadels are HE citadels. I'm doing good damage. I was on a flank where the enemy had a clear advantage, and we haven't died yet. The damage output is really good, and I think it's only going to get slightly better. I've heard, we'll see if it remains true when it goes live, but I've heard they're going to improve the rudder, maybe even a second again, and the rate of fire maybe by a second. So, everything helps. It's still a tier 3. It's going to give you a little reward, but not as much as those high-tier premium cruisers. And we won't kill the Kaiser, of course. So not a bad game. We were on the enemy's primary flank, and we survived. We earned Confederate, high caliber, 2 kills, 91,000 points of damage done, 1,236 base XP, pretty solid. 69,000 in main battery, 22,000 in fires, 500,000 fired at us / torpedoes. Not bad at all. The Oleg, solid tier 3 premium. I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.